Disclosure: the views and opinions expressed here belong solely to the author and do not represent the views and opinions of Crypto.News editorial. Not everything in life benefits from decentralization. P2P marketplaces? Sure. Remittances? Absolutely. Dating apps? Perhaps not. But what about cloud infrastructure itself, the very backbone of the modern internet? On the one hand, just think about all the cool stuff Web3 lets you add to this business model in terms of transparency, token incentives, and global access. On the other hand, think about all the important stuff that's inherent to the cloud's entire value proposition, such as speed, low latency, and availability. Doesn't decentralizing it risk impairing the very properties that are integral to cloud networks? The answer to that question is partly a technological one, but it's also a sociological one that calls for combining the tech that makes Web3 tick with the human ideas dictating what decentralization is meant to achieve. The evolution of technology has always required an interplay between idealism and pragmatism. Whether it was the open-source software movement or the advent of the internet, progress has been driven by a union of visionaries dreaming of systemic change and pragmatists finding ways to implement those changes. In the world of Web3, the same rules apply, and nowhere is this duality more apparent than in the burgeoning fields of decentralized technology, particularly when it comes to the two big Ds, DeFi and DePIN, or decentralized physical infrastructure networks. These sectors are populated with a combination of idealists who champion decentralization first and foremost, and earners seeking clear incentives and real-world returns. This evokes images of Web3 as a Pushmapuliu, the mythical two-headed beast conjured in Dr. Dolittle. But with a little compromise on both sides, it's possible to keep everyone happy: the decentralization purists and those who just want to make bank while disrupting legacy systems. And when it comes to the cloud, there's a $600 billion market to fight over and a compelling case for recreating it on Web3 rails. As the volumes of data across the globe multiply, our reliance on centralized cloud vendors for storage and computing power becomes a glaring vulnerability. A single ransomware attack or outage can cripple entire markets overnight. By distributing workloads across independently run nodes, decentralized infra makes data security a core feature while meeting the demand for data sovereignty, where users want greater control and privacy over their information. The idea underpinning DePIN is simple but powerful. A network of independent contributors offers storage and computing power, creating a resilient distributed infrastructure for data storage. This model not only resonates with the ideological roots of blockchain, which values decentralization as a form of empowerment, but addresses real-world challenges like the security risks of centralized systems and single points of failure. Decentralized physical infrastructure networks serve as the scaffolding for bringing this decentralized cloud into practical reality. DePINs can power everything from decentralized wireless coverage to community-driven storage, bridging the old world of telecom towers and data centers with the new world of blockchain-backed, tokenized incentives. These networks aren't just theoretical. More than 13 million devices connect to DePINs every day in a Web3 sector that's raised over $350 and whose total market cap now hovers around $50 billion. The industry is projected to reach $3.5 trillion by 2028. Whether it's people hosting small cell stations in their homes or contributing in used server capacity, DePINs are proving that everyday individuals can become stakeholders in the world's digital infrastructure. Decentralized physical infrastructure networks represent a significant leap forward in how decentralized systems interact with the physical world. Importantly, they offer more than mere ideological benefits such as censorship resistance. They provide tangible incentives for all participants. Network operators can earn revenue by hosting nodes, staking assets, or contributing to the ecosystem in other ways. This approach aligns incentives between idealists and earners, creating a symbiotic system that encourages widespread adoption. While DePINs provide the infrastructure, it's DeFi innovations that enable the economic engine to run. Over the past few years, DeFi has demonstrated how financial incentives can catalyze participation in decentralized systems. Innovations such as staking, yield farming, and liquidity provisioning have transformed passive participants into active contributors. Consider staking, for example. Node operators in a decentralized cloud network can stake tokens to validate transactions or provide storage capacity, earning rewards in return. Similarly, Users can earn yields on their contributions to the network, creating a virtuous cycle of engagement and reward. More advanced DeFi concepts like rehypothecation, where yields themselves can be reused or reinvested, only enhance the potential for financial growth within these systems. Uniting crypto's dreamers and earners is the key to making DePIN work. Like two strands of DNA entwining to form a single helix, these movements can combine ideology with pragmatism. Rather than seeing decentralization as a moral absolute or disregarding it altogether in pursuit of short-term returns, the industry is discovering that both can coexist. Creating Web3 systems capable of challenging traditional giants will call for trade-offs along the way and require absolutists on either side of the spectrum to make compromises. Decentralization matters, but so does real-world utility. And DePIN, straddling the old world and the new, embodies that stance, formed as it is of cloud servers, APIs, RPCs, and a hodgepodge of other components, some centralized, some decentralized, and some hybrid. What matters is that when combined, they work for everyone: the decentralization purists and the entrepreneurs, the solo hobbyists, and the enterprises. DePIN's success will be measured less on what's under the hood and more on what it can achieve. Can it be cheaper, more reliable, and more efficient than legacy systems? By harnessing the strengths of both camps, Web3's Imagineers and its go-getters' dream of a decentralized internet moves ever closer. Ideals provide fuel, financial incentives provide the spark. And when those potent forces come together, it acts as a catalyst for innovation that will indelibly reshape our digital world. Kai Warzenek is a co-founder of the Impossible Cloud Network. He is a seasoned entrepreneur with a PhD in law and a proven track record of building successful ventures. Recognizing the need for enterprise-grade solutions in the Web3 space, Kai founded Impossible Cloud Network, a decentralized cloud platform aimed at creating a decentralized alternative to AWS. Before ICN, Kai founded Good Game Studios, an online game company, and grew the company to over 1,000 employees and generated more than $1 billion in revenue, taking it public on NASDAQ in 2018 through a reverse merger.